Hey, what is going on, guys? My name is Slcmof and I'm back again with another video, and today I would like to pose to you a hypothetical question, and that is, what if Batman v Superman is bad? How does that affect the DCEU? Does that doom the DCEU, or can it still be redeemed upon Batman v Superman being good? Because it's kind of like building up a skyscraper. If the initial building blocks are, misfunctioning or they're not stable, then you can certainly have some problems when you start building up, and that's something that Marvel did very well. They started with smaller solo films with Captain America and Iron Man, and build upon that, and I think that the MCU did a great job at building up and making those beginning fundamental blocks excellent and strong. But DC has shown some desperation in the way that their films are laid out, and they're showing films like Batman v Superman, which is really equivocal to, Captain America Civil War, and versus Iron Man. It's quite similar to it in that you have two characters facing off, but we don't have any context of these characters. We have one solo Superman film, and we've never seen Batman before. Meanwhile, in Marvel, they've got these characters they've had for a decade, Captain America and Iron Man, who have been built upon in their own solo movies, and they're going against one another, so there's more substance inherently in that conflict because we've had a decade of those characters in the MCU. Meanwhile, in Batman v Superman, we're getting a character that we've never seen before, Batman, Bruce Wayne. We've never seen him. So I don't think the fear that if Batman v Superman is bad, the DCEU is somewhat doomed, that's not an ingermane fear. I think that's perfectly rational for somebody to know, because that is the initial building block, and these characters that Zack Snyder is creating are the ones that we'll be seeing for the next decade in the DCEU, so we really have to make sure that this is a quality character set list. But I will reinstate, as I've been stating for many months, I believe that Batman, if Batman doesn't work, Bruce Wayne, who's the main character that's being introduced in this movie, Ben Affleck's Batman has to sell to everybody, and he can bring back the old school fans that have loved, 1989, Batman, who, the older people are familiar with that movie. It can bring back the younglings, who are more familiar with the Nolan Batmans like myself. It can bring back people even younger than me who are, more familiar with the animated series. Batman has the most robust form of presence across all entertainment and video games in the animated stuff and everything like that. So because of that, they need to make sure that Batman works, and I think that Batman should be the center of the DCEU. And again, it is really pivotal that Batman and Wonder Woman, who are being introduced in this movie, they all have to connect with you. And if they don't connect, then, the movie and the universe could be in big trouble, but it goes much further beyond this movie. The plot of this movie could be garbage, which I think it is, but the movie itself and the characters they introduce could be intriguing and carry over to JLA fine. So really what they need to work on is making sure the characters are intriguing, and the movie can suck, but the DCEU is not spoiled, if that makes sense. But I object as well that the trailer could be edited in a misleading way so that the Doomsday fight is maybe in the middle of the movie and Batman v Superman fight in the final act, which would be much more intriguing to me than all the characters kind of getting together for a JLA warm-up squad against Doomsday, which they'll obviously win that fight. So to me, it's just, yeah, I have my problems with the movie, but that's not the question of this video. The question of this video is that if it's bad, not saying that it will be, but if it is bad, what effect does that have on the DCEU? It may come as a surprise to you, as I don't think Batman v Superman will be a very good movie, but I think that if Batman v Superman does suck, that's actually okay for the DCEU, and it is not doomed. And I've seen that on Twitter, I've seen that on Reddit forums. I don't think that the DCEU is bound by this film. What I think it is bound by is Bruce Wayne, and I think if Batman is bad, then the DCEU is in bad shape. But that doesn't say the movie can be bad, but people can like Bruce Wayne. So you can have likable characters, you can like Superman, you can like Batman, but you just think the plot's dumb, and you think, why is Doomsday in here? Which are all questions that I'm asking myself 3 months before the movie comes out. But I can still like Bruce Wayne, I can like Ben Affleck as Batman, I'm like, okay, I'm digging this. So the movie can be bad, but Batman can be good. So really what the pivotal point here is, the way that if Batman v Superman blows, the way it can ruin the DCEU is if Batman doesn't work, if Superman doesn't work, if Wonder Woman doesn't work. If those characters don't work, then the DCEU is doomed, literally doomed, because Batman, Wonder Woman, they're new. Okay, people like Superman, fine, he's okay. People don't love him, people don't hate him. It's just whatever. People in this generation, they don't like Superman. He's not flashy enough for people these days. Batman and Wonder Woman, however, Wonder Woman, she's played by a super attractive actress, which is big, that's important. People don't think that's important, but it is. It really is important. And that's why they cast her. They didn't cast somebody that was meatier and actually looked like Wonder Woman because, you know, whoever that would be maybe wouldn't be attractive enough. And they probably just looked for somebody that's really attractive because that's what sells in movies nowadays. But long story short, I don't think that the DCEU specifically is doomed if Batman v Superman sucks, which I think it will be a mediocre movie, my personal opinion. But if it is, I don't think the DCEU is doomed because I think we have JLA, and JLA can redeem those qualities. But that is if the overarching plot of the movie is bad, and I don't think that there will be such a sour taste in your mouth if Batman v Superman sucks that people will not want to go see JLA. I think that just the idea of Justice League is really intriguing to the casual viewer, even though most casual viewers don't know what Justice League is, what the Justice League is. Most casual viewers aren't really familiar with who Aquaman is. They're only familiar with Flash and Green Arrow because of the DC, or the CW shows, sorry. But I certainly can understand many of you that hold the position that, you know, this is the fundamental building block to the DCEU and really the kickoff. And A Man of Steel, which is a solo movie, you can't really identify that as the kickoff. You know, really, this is the beginning of the DCEU, Batman v Superman. We're going to get the clash of the two greatest superheroes in the DC cinematic universe and in all of DC Comics together, you know, the two of the most iconic superheroes in all of history, right up there with Spider-Man in terms of popularity. So because of that, you know, these characters, I think that they're going to work. And because I think that Ben Affleck is going to, you know, do a very convincing and great Batman, it's unfortunate that I think the movie is surrounded by terrible marketing and a weak script from what I've seen, and also it looks kind of gimmicky again. It's just, I have my problems with it, but I don't think that that's going to affect the DCEU, and I think we have, you know, great movies to look forward to. I'm still looking forward to Batman v Superman. I'm cautiously optimistic, and I don't think it'll be very good, but that's just my personal opinion. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Are you looking forward to Batman v Superman? Again, I am. I don't think it'll be good, but I'm looking forward to it. And, you know, just let me know your thoughts on this topic. Do you think that Batman v Superman is a pivotal building block to the DCEU, or do you really think that, you know, there's can be bad apples in the bunch? Marvel has had some weak spots. I think that Avengers Age of Ultron is a great example of a weak spot in the MCU, but that's not at the very beginning building blocks, which is why this is a totally different scenario that we're dealing with here, because this movie in a lot of senses really has to work in order for people to fall in love with the DCEU. So let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Subscribe for more Batman v Superman, Batman Arkham, and Batman Telltale coverage. We'll see you in the next one.